ever hear from people around the league, get feedback on how you've done, how you've represented yourselves this year?
For whatever reason, it's happened a lot lately, and it's strange you even ask. I got, 16 years in the league, you're bound to make some friends, and I have many friends in the league, either GMs or coaches, and for whatever reason, there's been an abundance of people that just reach out and say, you guys play hard. You guys play unselfish. Like, it's really a compliment to our players to get those two qualities being said when there's only 15 games left, that they play with a tremendous spirit and they play unselfish basketball. The ball moves, they play hard. I can't think of two more important ingredients from any team, let alone a team that really hasn't won a lot and is now going into the last month of the season.
Dario and Jaleel both had, I thought, pretty good road trips. Just talk to them. Dario just seems to keep expanding his game more and more. But also, what are you seeing from Jaleel? I mean, he in lower minutes, he seems to be putting up good numbers.
And I think you could really point it at Timmy Luwawu in that same conversation of people that stood out on the road trip. I think, to your point, Dario just seems to get better and better. He seems to be more comfortable and more comfortable. We've talked lots about his skill package, as we should. I see more of a poise and an intellect on how he handles situations. The more and more he plays, he clearly has felt more empowered since Irsan has left. I'm playing him a lot of minutes. Like the other night, I didn't take him out, and that's calculated. Like, he's going into it. Most times I don't do that. So he's playing a lot of minutes. I'm very mindful that I don't want to beat him down more than anything. And the other night, I just didn't take him out against Golden State. I feel like Jaleel has just jumped through so many hurdles this year, and to end up in a place where, we're still mindful of not playing him too much. At times, you want to give him tons of minutes, and you can't. It's not responsible. We want to deliver him to the end of the year and let him play the good basketball in the time frame that he has been playing well. And the other night, I thought he did that. And I feel like mentally, he's just handled the whole thing like a real mature professional, and so he's in a good place. And then I'll talk about Timmy, because I think that Timmy, has grabbed that starting spot and sort of not been shy about jumping into somebody defensively, and not been shy about trying to impose himself offensively. His fourth period against Golden State was very good. Those three people really stood out on the road trip to me.
With Dario playing the way and growing the way he has, does maybe looking forward to next year, has your mind of what he's going to do next year changed in any way? You know what I mean?
We'd all be sort of not telling the truth if you didn't look at him more favorably as far as what you think you can count on since, the past month or so since the trade deadline. He was a backup foreman, behind Irsan, and he's come in and really sort of grabbed that starting four spot unapologetically. Like, he really's done it well. And so from that perspective, you look at him, can he hold that spot? And there's nothing to date that says that he couldn't. He's really, from so many levels, he's just been a real find for us this year.
Was the intent to always keep Tim maybe in the starting lineup, or was it at first just in that Clippers game because of the injury situation with Gerald and he needed to throw a body out there? But has he done more to maybe have you contemplate something steadier in that role?
It's still, as I said when we started him, it wasn't a reward and it wasn't a demise for Gerald or Nick. It wasn't anything other than let's have a look. And it remains that. I think we all would admit, as we're having a look, that we'd be pretty pleased with what we're seeing. He hasn't taken a backward step, and when you look at the defensive job that he's done on, say, a Redick or a Klay Thompson, elite scorers, elite runners, you'd be really, to me, excited about his future and the fact that he's only, whatever age he is, and really a late 20th pick. You feel like you have something good in him.
What do you look to see in these last few games? What are you looking for?
So we have 15 games left. We have 8 on the road. We have 7 at home. We have 9 out of those 15 are either in the playoffs or right on the cusp. And so it's a really, dense, talented, difficult remaining, call it a month left in the season. And I think going back to just style of play interests me the most. We talk all the time about this whole thing's going to be based on defense. Are we doing it? Are we playing with that physicality and competing where the city is proud of us? I think today, yes, we are. That road trip wasn't very forgiving to us in previous years, and we've come back, really with the exception of maybe 2 possessions, you could have been 3-1 against really good teams. So the defense will always be a part of our judgment, how we want to end the year. And then we want to continue just to play with tremendous pace, share the ball, shoot threes, play with that type of style. That's who we are. That's how I see it. And we'll continue to walk down the style of play.
Fred, is Splitter getting close? How would you assess his progress?
It's getting closer. We feel like we can talk to him and the media more about a definitive plan as it relates to return to play path. It could involve some D-League stuff. The mere fact that he's all in, to me highlights who he is. Like, it's not a demise, it's just an opportunity. And that is how D-League stuff should be viewed, and he does. He's a veteran. And so that, I assume, will be a part of it. But in relation to a definitive timeline, we have none to offer. The fact that he came in today and was able to do more than he's ever been able to do would be an indication that he's closer than he's ever been.
With guys like Saric and Timmy, just for you guys being so shorthanded and those guys to step up in these roles, does that give you hope for next year when really they're not going to probably be counted on quite as much as they are this year?
I'm not sure about that, not the counted on bit, but I hear you. I think what it does for me is the spirit of your question. I get it. I would say, yep. I think for me what it does is it reconfirms some of the European players that come over so young, the fact that they have, and I've said this before, I'll say it again, the fact that they have been playing against adults matters. It matters. Years ago you saw it with Tony Parker in early days. It's different than playing college basketball. You start playing in, different professional European leagues, and it doesn't always have to be the ACB or the EuroLeague. They're men. And these guys, I think, are able to, have more of a chance physically to have a chance to make a difference and not be completely shoved around on an NBA court because of foreign basketball and the age stuff. And so their improvement, their ability to produce now, I think some of it is reflective of that. As far as next year, don't tell them that. Yep.
Now that he's moved on, someone says Nerlens Noel. How do you put his time here in context? What's your biggest takeaway?
I'm very fond of Nerlens. He and I went through a lot. On many levels, you miss him. You always wish him well. In my heart of hearts, I think he's in a really good place. He will be viewed as a prospective starting center, and he should be viewed as that. Dallas obviously made an effort to go after him, seeing if they too felt like that. I think that he is. And so I think any time when you bump into your old players on the road, you always wish them well. You always hope that they're in a good place and they're advancing their lives, they're advancing their careers. And on first glance, I think he's in a good place. And so I look forward to seeing him. I hope that he has good memories of teammates here and coaching staff that tried to help him and coach him as best we could. And I look forward to seeing him personally tomorrow.